This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the City Council regular meeting for July 6th, 2021, our first in-person meeting since the pandemic. May I have a roll call, please?
Alderman Goodman,
Here.
Alderman Anderson,
Here.
Alderman Widener,
Alderman Widener is excused.
oh, I am so sorry. Alderman Wilson,
Here.
Alderman Chrisell,
Here.
Alderman Berry,
Here.
Alderman Ashour,
Here.
Alderman Davalos.
Here.
Okay, Alderman Anderson will be attending virtually this evening unless there's any objection from the council. We'll proceed with him as recorded as present. Any objections? Okay, Alderman Anderson, you're there, correct?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. Keep your finger near that button now to unmute yourself.
I will.
You
I'll be
still have
quick.
to do that. All right, this is the time we do the Pledge of Allegiance. I would invite you to stand and join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is the time we set aside for citizens' comments. I think we have one person in the audience who wishes to speak this evening. We also have somebody on the phone, so we'll start with Pat O'Connor. Pat's with us. Up to the podium, Pat. You know the drill.
Paragon 3S570 Warren Avenue. I am so happy to see everybody here. It's really too long. I love the one thing I wanted to talk about is last Thursday I I went to the library to do something, and I walked back, and I walk around Warrenville. It's so nice to see people outside, say hi, say how you doing. It's so nice to see that. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat. Good to have you back. We have, I believe, Andrea Rogers on the phone. Andrea, would you like to speak at this time?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Hi, my name is Andrea Rogers, and I recently moved into Everton Flats, and we are experiencing some difficulties with our drinking water. We have had brown water, strong odors, and difficulty with cleaning. The apartment building has installed water softeners at an additional cost to the construction. Are there any plans to evaluate purchase of water from the city of Chicago? May I have a copy of your 5-year capital improvement plan? I do understand that the water is currently meeting regulatory requirements, but it is not enjoyable to consume. And I also understand that most neighboring communities purchase their water from the city of Chicago. Is that correct? As you increase your residential population, there is an increased demand for a higher quality water.
Okay, thank you. There are currently no plans to buy Chicago water. We have, in fact, do not have an allocation anymore, and it is not in our future plans at this point. And we can have staff get a hold of you and talk to you about what's going on with the development. If you get us an email address or a phone number offline, that would be great.
Sure, I'll put it in the chat.
Very good, thank you. Anything else?
Any way that I could implore you to consider that? Any evidence or anything?
It would be exceedingly expensive at this point. It's very unlikely that we're going to take that route in the future.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
thank you for your answer. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Do we have any emails tonight? Okay, so anyone else online who would like to make a citizen's comment? Okay, we'll move on to elected officials. A couple things for myself this evening. First of all, thank you to everyone who was involved in the 4th of July fireworks. They were delightful. We had a perfect evening. Everything went smoothly. Colin Wilkie and his 4th of July committee did a superb job again of making that happen for us this year. So thank you, Colin, and all of the volunteers that worked with you. Thanks to our Public Works Department. I got a thank you letter from the Mayor of Darien for sending help down for the tornado damage. This is something that the communities in DuPage County do for each other. We help others. They're there for us. So thanks, Public Works, for following up on that and making sure that we're part of that effort. Also, an email from Chief Dina at Warrenville Fire Protection District thanking us for our cooperation and the local fire problems we've had recently, and it certainly reflects well on our PD and our other folks that we are acting as a team. And Chief, we intend to do this going forward, and it's the way we do things. So thanks for recognizing that we work as a team. We have a couple of things otherwise. The fireworks update from Chief Toronto. We had a few violations, I think. I know I heard them.
Yeah, unfortunately, our highest call volume, which I'll have a complete report, excuse me, on the 26th of July at the public safety meeting, was during the time that the fireworks were being detonated by the city. So I don't know if they're using those camouflage or what have you, but in any event, during the hours that we had extra enforcement going on, we did issue 13 citations for illegal possession or display of fireworks, and as I said, I'll have a complete report for you on the number of calls, what have you, on the 26th.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Also, we are continuing our virtual meeting platform. Assistant City Administrator White, could you give us the details, please?
Sure, thank you. So this is our first meeting where the council and the staff are back in person. We do have multiple ways to view our city council and committee of the whole meetings. You can attend in person, participate virtually via GoToMeeting. The link and access information is available on every meeting agenda. And you can also watch live on Channel 10 or watch the recording after the meeting on Channel 10 or on YouTube. We are continuing the virtual participation via GoToMeeting. However, for the time being, other than the mayor and the podium, all of the rest of the elected officials and staff will be audio only. So anybody participating at home, listening in, or watching via Channel 10, you will only be able to hear us. You won't be able to see everyone at this time. If you're watching on Channel 10, though, you'll be able to see and hear everyone, as was the case before COVID. So that is the update.
Okay, thank you, Christina. And finally, for me, this is the last week for the Mayor's Fitness Challenge. For those of you who thought you had me nailed, I had not put anything down for about 8 days, which I did this morning, so I'm back in the game, although the leaders I will never catch this year. So if you're still involved with that, you have until July 10th to earn your T-shirt. Get out there and do some good stuff. Tonight was a beautiful night for a bike ride. We got a short one in, but of course I had to come here, so maybe tomorrow it'll be a longer one. That's all I have for this evening. Clerk, good evening.
Nope, I have nothing.
Okay, thank you. Treasurer, we don't have a report there. Alderman, anyone with anything they'd like to add this evening? Alderman Goodman.
Yeah, it's just a personal note about the ongoing pandemic. 1 month ago yesterday, I lost my great uncle Jake to COVID-19. This pandemic is still ongoing. Dr. Fauci recently told the press that 99.2% of recent COVID deaths have been among unvaccinated people. That makes deaths to COVID now even more tragic because they are practically preventable. So this is my way of appealing to anyone who hasn't had time yet to get vaccinated or hasn't found a way to do it, to please get vaccinated, help your neighbors get vaccinated, call your family members and get them vaccinated. And let's reduce the number of COVID deaths to 0. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Anyone else? Alderman Davalos.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just say that I am thrilled to be back. I've already talked to staff more tonight than I have in a long time. And it's just good to see everybody's face. And yeah, I'm just thrilled. And the other thing is, I just would like to kind of thank staff as I think back over this year and a half, a little bit more. I know we've talked about this before, but they have been phenomenal in figuring out a situation that there are no ground rules for. We had, just like everybody else, but they did a stellar job of so many things. There were creativity, thinking on their feet, coming up with really ingenious ideas, continuing to do their job, even though sometimes it was harder because of constraints. And I just kind of want to give them a big thank you, all of them. And the police department has been amazing. So I just am, I guess I'm kind of proud of our city in a way. I think we've done quite well. You know, everything wasn't perfect, I suppose, but I think we've done quite well, and I think we're going to be great going forward. Even though we don't have all the answers to all the issues, I have confidence that we will be fine. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on to the city administrator. Good evening, John.
Thank you. Two quick things. I would echo Alderman Goodman's comments about getting vaccinated, the importance. There are new variants. This is really a nasty, nasty virus, and that's just understatement, I think, of the last 15 months. But the new variants coming, so far it looks like the vaccinations are holding up against at least one of them. There's others coming, and if you can get vaccinated, please do. We want to stay open. We want to stay in person. We want our businesses to thrive. We want people to be at work. We want to be out and be able to do things, and we want to be healthy. So please do follow that advice. If you're thinking you don't want to, please rethink it. Secondly, kudos to the Friends of the Fourth. They did a great job getting fireworks done this year. It was just an impossible year to plan anything. Anybody who was in charge of anything knows that it just, back in January when you really have to set those things in place and they had to sign contracts and make decisions, there was just no way to tell that we'd be where we are now. Some towns took a risk and it paid off, but to spend that kind of money, tens of thousands of dollars to reserve different events and all, or performing groups and have a parade and have a big festival, you just could not have predicted. And then really until late May was everyone sure that we were going to get to phase 5, and you could do that, and you can't throw something together in that kind of time frame. They did a very good job. They were consulting with everyone they could, worked with us closely, Mayor Brummel, with Dawn from our staff and others from the city. But the volunteers just did a great job, and it was so good to have fireworks and just see people out enjoying themselves and a little normalcy that is back. So next year they have promised that we won't have any kind of pandemic, there'll be no more virus, and we will have a full festival. So that's all. Some of that the Friends of the Fourth can guarantee. I'm not sure all of it, but anyway, I'm very much looking forward to seeing everybody out at Stony Park next year for a full festival.
Thank you, John. Good evening, City Attorney Brooke. Anything?
Just to say that it's really nice to be back and not to have a roll call vote on every vote. That's
Oh,
it
we're
for
not
me.
going to do that anymore?
No, you don't have to. Not for everything.
I was gonna
Some
s-
things.
All right, very good, thank you. All right, we'll move on to the approval of the agenda this evening. May I have a motion, please?
I would like to approve the agenda for the July 6, 2021 City Council regular meeting.
Second,
Second by Alderman Goodman. Any discussion or changes?
I would like to remove item C.
C. Okay, a seconder agree with that?
yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda as amended this evening. May I have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Excuse me, Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Krischel,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Ashour,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Anderson,
Aye.
Alderman Goodman.
Aye.
Motion carries. The agenda as amended has been approved. We need the approval also of one set of minutes. Alderman Davalos, would you like to make that motion also?
Yes, I move to approve the minutes of the June 21st, 2021 City Council regular meeting.
Second by Alderman Wilson. Any discussion of those minutes? Seeing none, may I have a roll call, please? Oh, just, I guess we don't need a roll call for that. Got to get back into the groove here. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The minutes are approved. We'll move on then to the consent agenda. Item 6A, accept staff recommendation, waive second reading, pass ordinance 02021-28, granting extension of special use permit approval for the operation of an adult use cannabis dispensary at 4 South 120 Route 59. B, accept staff recommendation and pass resolution R2021-47, awarding the contract for West 2 and 3 Basins manhole rehabilitation to Duke's Root Control Incorporated of Crystal Lake, Illinois, in the amount of $427,300. D, accept Mayor Brummel's recommendation and approve the appointment of John Jack Grodowski as Commissioner of the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. E, accept staff recommendation and approve the revised 2021 Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Awareness Commission schedule of regular meetings. F, receive and file minutes of the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners meeting held on November 17th, 2020. G, receive and file minutes of the Tourism and Arts Commission meeting held on February 11th, 2021. H, receive and file minutes of the Tourism and Arts Commission meeting held on February 17th, 2021. I, receive and file minutes of the Tourism and Arts Commission meeting held on March 11th, 2021. J, receive and file the minutes of the Tourism and Arts Commission meeting held on April 15th, 2021. K, receive and file minutes of the Tourism and Arts Commission meeting held on May 13th, 2021. L, receive and file report of invoices paid up to June 25th, 2021 in the amount of $31,513.29. M, receive and file report of invoices paid up to June 30th, 2021 in the amount of $13,976.25. And N, authorize expenditures for invoices due on or before July 19th, 2021 in the amount of $231,883.65. Alderman Goodman?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read by Mayor Brummel.
Second.
Second by Alderman Davalos. This requires roll call, I remember that.
Alderman Anderson,
Aye.
Alderman Krischel,
Aye.
Alderman Davalos,
Aye.
Alderman Ashour,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Berry,
Aye.
Alderman Goodman.
Aye.
Thank you. The agenda as amended has been approved. We will return to item 6C. Alderman Davalos, did you wish to bring that forward? or would-
Yes.
Okay, very good.
I will bring it forward.
Thank you.
I move to accept staff recommendation and pass resolution R 2021-48, awarding the contract for Lakeview Drive and River Oaks Drive storm sewer pipelining to Benchmark Construction Company, Inc. of Bartlett, Illinois, in the amount of $203,000.
Second.
Second by Alderman Ashower. Discussion, Alderman Davalos.
Yes, I'm not opposed to this particular item, but what I wanted to bring forward for the record, this was sort of a new strategy for me on how to use money from the CMRP. And, because I think we used around $25,000 because this came in over the budget. So, I mean, that's fine for now, and I'm going to vote yes, but it just brought up to me that I am kind of confused about how we're dealing with new strategies, or do we have new strategies for the CMRP? You know, my first idea was, oh gee, maybe we should have taken this out of the general fund. I mean, it probably wouldn't have been appropriate, but it started a scenario going in my head. I think I remember earlier this summer that there was going to be some sort of a meeting at a city council meeting about the CMRP to sort of bring everybody up to speed on which direction we're going and how we're going to solve some deficit issues. And we've brought it up several times as we voted on things. And so I guess what I'm doing is just making a general request that it's not clear to me exactly how we're deciding these things. So while I will be happy to, I think this is a good project and I'm not going to hold it up in any way, but if we could just continue to work on some sort of communication piece or information packet for some new strategies going forward when they're established. And I know we have groups, aldermen, people working on this. So, yeah, so that's all I'm saying is I hope that process is moving forward. It'll be a lot easier to vote on a few things if I knew exactly what people's thoughts were. So, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. I believe that work group is ongoing, is it not, John?
Yes, it is. And the CMRP work group, Capital Maintenance Replacement Plan, we will be making a presentation at the Public Safety and Finance Committee meeting. I think it's July 26th. It's the fourth Monday, about revenues and expense and the shortfalls and some recommendations to make those up. So there will be more information coming. It looks like the finance director wants to correct something I've said.
Yeah, just,
Kevin Dahlstrom, our finance director. Welcome, Kevin.
thank you. I just wanted to correct you. If you remember, we did move that back to the meeting in August of the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee.
Thank you. You're correct. It will be 2 weeks after that because there's still a lot of work to be done on that, and there's a lot of things on everybody's plate right now. So we'll be forthcoming, but not in July, as Kevin said, in August at the next committee meeting. Thank you.
Okay, next time I'll call on Kevin first.
Try that.
We look forward to seeing you back again.
No, I don't want to go back again. We're going to get this thing done.
Well, that's what I meant.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Public Works Director Kukler.
I did want to take a moment to clarify that all of the money for this project is coming out of the CMRP. The $175,000 was budgeted in the out of the CMRP, and the extra $28,000 we're able to do that without a budget amendment because we have a couple of projects, the road program and the museum painting and tuck pointing projects are going to be less money than we had budgeted. So that leftover money is in the budget to be able to cover the extra $28,000 that was not budgeted for this project. So it's all the $203,000 is all coming from the CMRP. And the pipelining is a strategy to repair pipes in a trenchless technology way where you don't have to then dig it up and disturb people's yards or roads and things like that. So this is an alternate way of, instead of replacing a pipe. Okay. An alternate way of, instead of replacing the pipe entirely, to fix the pipe from to trench soil without digging.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else with a question or a comment on that item? Seeing none, may I have a roll call then, please?
Alderman Krischel?
Aye.
Alderman Goodman?
Aye.
Alderman Wilson?
Aye.
Alderman Anderson?
Aye.
Alderman Ashower?
Aye.
Alderman Davalos?
Aye.
And Alderman Berry.
Aye.
Motion carries. The item is approved. We have nothing under regular agenda, nothing under unfinished business. No new business on the list, no need for a closed session. Who would like to make the motion to adjourn? Alderman Goodman,
I move to adjourn.
Second.
second by Alderman Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned, and it is indeed good to be back.